Good morning, friends. Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm so excited about the message I'm going to bring today. I'm going to share this on some of my other groups and platforms, but I hope that you are ready for a word. I have not felt this inspired to share anything in a really long time, like a really long time. I share stuff all the time, but not as authentically as I feel like this is about to come out of my mouth. So I hope you're ready. Get some note paper to take some notes. I'm going to try to upload this other places so it can be moved around. What is it with Facebook logging everyone out of all of their stuff? Like, I've never been logged out of Facebook before, and I don't know why this is happening now. And the worst part is I don't ever remember my passwords. Anybody feel me on that? Let me make sure that I am, hold on. Welcome in, everyone. Hope you guys are having a good morning. My poor husband is working in like negative 20-degree temperatures, and it's just crazy. It's just bananas. Okay, let's figure this out. So when I first started to do, this is the third time I've gone live this morning, but the first time I tried to do it, like background noise was just bananas, and it wouldn't stop, so I had to shut it out, had to speak live over my computer, and just figure out what the heck's going on. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Okay, I am live, just making sure. To a group, we're gonna go a couple of different places so I can save this. All right, share in public. Everybody can watch this. Okay, well, is it gonna show? Having some technical issues this morning, but I can't wait to bring this word to you. So, over the last couple of months, I would really say the last 6 months, I've kind of been in this weird place on social media. I've been in this weird place personally, just trying to figure out what my message is and who I serve. And it's not that I didn't know that, but I felt like God was pulling something out of me and challenging me to serve someone else, serve different people. And this all happened when I worked for someone else, and I realized, okay, I have all of the gifts and talents to do the things I feel like I'm called to do. I just needed a little bit of guidance. And so while I was in this job, I learned a lot. It was challenging mentally most days. It was challenging emotionally, to feel like I have such a big vision for what I want to do, but I can't put it out in the world because I don't know exactly how it's going to be received by someone else. I just want to free you from that. If that's your struggle and that's your holdup, that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is not for how it will be received. Your responsibility is to be the vessel to push it out into the world and to let it be what it needs to be. Because what happens most time when I get on here is that I don't plan to bless someone with a word. I don't plan to speak directly to someone. I'm speaking based on what has been delivered to me through another message, what someone else has poured into my life, whether they know it or not. A lot of times people will put stuff out on the internet not knowing the impact that it could have on someone else because they didn't like or comment or share it or message you about it. You're never going to know the end result of every single person that you touch. I have touched thousands of lives in this last decade, and only a small fraction of those have I ever had an interaction with. So the thing I want to tell you is that as you are moving into this year, I know it's already chaos, like it's already pandemonium. That is not your responsibility to take all of that in. Your responsibility is to understand that you are approved privately. So as you go through this year sharing authentically, which I know a lot of you, because I was there too, refrain from sharing your authentic self, your authentic voice, what you feel, because you didn't want to get in a social media war. You have convictions and they're different than other people, and instead of being told that you're wrong or being trolled on social media, you just kept it to yourself, or you kept it to a small group of people. And sometimes that's hard because sometimes you feel like you're positioned to share a message and then other people are coming in just hating on you. Well, let me tell you, the sign of being hated on is a sign that you are walking where you're supposed to be, because the words that come from you won't always be approved by the world. So number one, when you are marked for more than what you're living, it's because you're waiting for someone else that's not God to approve you. So you will be approved in private. Not always will you know, oh my goodness, I have impacted someone's life. That's not your job. That's not your mission. Your mission is to plant the seeds and to trust the process and to trust that, if I continue to show up as authentically as I am, knowing who I am, knowing who I serve and how I show up, God's going to use that for someone else. Someone else is going to get exactly what they need from what I'm doing because I'm consistent and I'm faithful to the vision and the assignment, not just the opportunities. This allows you to be the vessel. You need to be the vessel. You need to be the vessel. I said this on Instagram. God calls who he called. Well, let me think of this. How did I say it? God doesn't call the equipped. He equips the called. So many are chosen, but few are called. Many people are chosen to live a life far beyond what they can imagine, but not everyone's called there. Because a calling will cost you something. It will cost you friends. It will cost you family. It will cost you relationships. It will cost you time, energy, money, fame, fortune. It will cost you all of those things. But at the same time, the blessing that you will reap will be 10 times over what you could have ever hoped or imagined. God says that very clearly in the Bible. Just because, this is number 2, just because you're approved doesn't always mean you're going to get a position. So what happens when we're like, okay, Katie, I know what I'm doing. If you read my post this morning, to some people that sounds like a brag. Like, oh, I'm humble bragging. I'm not humble bragging. I don't need to brag about the things that have happened in my life because I struggle enough just realizing that, hey, I've done these things. I've achieved these things. Let's celebrate yourself. I struggle with that. That is a really hard thing for me to do. I would rather celebrate every single woman on my team than ever celebrate myself. Why is that? Why is that? I don't know. I haven't figured that out. I'm in a lot of therapy. No, I'm just kidding. But just because you are approved doesn't mean you're going to get a position. Just because you now have the opportunity and the skills and the knowledge and the know-how to lead, teach, create, do something, doesn't necessarily mean that as soon as you decide to put that gift into work, that it's going to yield something profitable, that it's going to be an instant success. I've been in network marketing for 7 years. I haven't made 6 figures yet. Why is that? Is that because I'm not good at what I do? No, that's not because I'm not good at what I do. It's because I have a different focus. This year is more focused on wealth creation. And why is that? Because it's finally the season for that. Because I walked through the seasons that God had called me to faithfully. I was attentive to what he was trying to do in my life. Even when people were like, why are you doing this? You're making no money. Why did you start this? You're not making any money. Why are you putting all your time here? You're not making money. Well, sometimes investing in people doesn't always yield income. Sometimes you have to pour out before you ever know that there's going to be profit. I had to align myself with what God was calling me to in each season of life because we are called to transition through different seasons. You're not always going to be at the top. The peaks oftentimes lead to a valley. When you reach a peak, you got to go through the bottom and you got to come back up so that you can learn and you can grow and you can lead to something different and you can add value to other people's lives. The thing about it is when, especially network marketing, when I deal with people in network marketing, other women who are professionals in network marketing, the top people that you will ever see in a network marketing company or in any business are the most humble, servant-hearted leaders. Because they realize that once you get to the top, it's not done. Your job has only begun. You have to figure out how to serve people on a different level. You have to figure out how to use your gifts to impact more people on a broader basis versus just maybe when you're getting started the one-on-one thing or the one-on-3 thing or the one-on small groups of people. You now have the influence, the impact, the income to impact hundreds of thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. Your servant-hearted leadership is only starting once you get to the top. It's only just beginning, and then you're called to evolve again. So you go through the valley of trying to figure out who you're serving and how you're serving them again, how to create leaders out of what you've done, how to duplicate so other people can thrive too. Your job is no longer just to get to where you want to get. It's now, how do I teach other people how to create this in mass duplication so that we are serving the masses, so that we are impacting more people with what we've been called to. The weirdest thing is, 7 years ago, network marketing fell into my lap through just needing to take care of myself. And if you've been with me any amount of time, you know I've changed companies. This is the company I'm with now is my second company. And I wanted to leave much sooner than I did But sometimes we're called to stay in something until provision is provided. Until God says, here it is, now you can leave. I had to wait. I stayed in that place for 6 months going, why am I dealing with this when I could easily make an exit? Because sometimes your problems are positioning you for that next level. And just as faithful as God has always been, he was faithful again. And he provided the opportunity that I'm with now. The sophisticated, classy leaders who are servant-hearted, kingdom-minded workers who know that the impact that they have on this earth is not just for them. It is a legacy impact. It is creating ripples and that become massive tidal waves in people's health and finances. Like, I have never seen anything like we're seeing now. And I'm not just saying that because this is what I do for a living. I'm saying that because I see the vision of what it is. I see what's coming. I've always had a bigger vision for our future. I may not know all of the details, but that's not my job. My job is to just be faithful to the assignment of the vision that God's given us. And then the opportunities come. But you have to stay faithful to the vision. You have to see it long term. So if you're someone that's starting something new, maybe it's a startup company. I had my shirt boutique, custom t-shirts for 4 years before I made any money. And the month that I walked away was 2 months after I made the most that I had ever made, $15,000. I had a $15,000 month. 2 months after that, I walked away. Why is that? Because I was willing to leave something that was blessed for something better. Because I knew that my focus had to shift. And I couldn't continue to trade time for money. And sometimes you get a little glimpse of success and God says, okay, what are you going to do? Are you going to be faithful to what I called you to, or are you going to be faithful to man and to provision that you have right now? Because you're still burnt out, you're still tired, you're still trading time for money, you're still burning the candle at both ends. Is it worth the little amount of money that I will give you here, or will you trust the process, trust my vision for your life, and just go to something bigger? Trust that you're going to have to start all over, because I had to start all over. When I made the choice to change companies, I had to start from the very bottom. I didn't come in with a team. I had to do the things that I had done before. I had to recruit people. I had to spread the vision. I had to share what I saw, the changes that I experienced. I had to give that vision to other people. I had to give them hope and ensure that, you trust me with this, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to show up. I had to set expectations for them so that they understood how I was going to lead them. And then I had to follow through. And then I had to build leaders through teaching them to do what I was doing. I had to simplify. I had to go back to the basics. I've been with this company for 3 years. I'm seeing the most income I have ever seen because I'm now starting to get in rhythm. I'm now starting to focus on what matters most. Serving people. Helping the women that I know that I'm called to help. Helping them specifically. Not being afraid to shine in confidence that I can serve people. That I have the knowledge, the tools, the wisdom to provide someone the opportunity for financial freedom and for health changes. We have those tools. It's laid out. It's about whether or not you'll do the work. Okay. Just because you're approved doesn't always mean that you get a position. You have to be developed in private. And when I was listening to this message, it was talking about how David was anointed he was probably 15. He was anointed at 15. The day he was anointed, he had to go back in the field and continue to serve. And he was 40 before he ever became the king. And he had to go through a lot of life, a lot of trials and tribulation, and the current reigning king, who happened to be his father-in-law, trying to kill him. He had to go through a lot of life. Your pasture season isn't punishment. Your slow seasons, your seasons of growth, the seasons of what the heck is happening, why am I here again? That's not punishment. That's an opportunity for your skills to be developed. All promotion comes from God. A good steward asks, what else can I do? So when you're in your waiting season, what else can I do? God, how are you using this to bring other people to to unlock someone else's future? I heard one of our top leaders say this 2 years ago. She said, your willingness to just go and serve is the key to unlocking someone's future. Because if you think about it, if you think about your life right now, it's filled with opportunities to say yes. You are in control of the opportunities that you say yes to. You're also in control of the opportunities that you don't say yes to. Timing is everything. We know that. But if you are trying to grow something, you also understand that you don't get it right the first time. It takes trial and error. It takes learning. It takes failing forward. It takes all of these things for you to finally acquire the skills, develop the leadership, develop, what you need to go to that next level, and do it with confidence and do it with ease. I remember my first live video. It was horrible. I said I still say those things, but I'm more conscious of it now because I'm more confident in how I speak and who I'm speaking to and how I show up on live video. I don't care if I look like a hot mess. It's reality. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3, running a household, raising babies, way behind on laundry. I'm not always going to be put together. I did put eyelashes on today though, because it made me feel pretty. But it's not about the outward appearance. It's about what you're doing behind the scenes. It's about how you're showing up and serving. It's all great to celebrate and to, acclaim my success, but if I'm not being the person that I am when I'm posting behind the scenes, then what I have achieved in the past doesn't matter for the future. That is something I've been so convicted about. What you achieve in the past is in the past. Congratulations, you've done an incredible job. Now grow on that. You're not called to stay there. You're called to continually evolve. Okay. Number 3. When you stop looking at your follower count, your likes, your comments, your outward approval, you'll be free to show up as your authentic, anointed self. You'll serve more people and make a bigger impact with more ease and more joy than you have ever experienced. One of our leaders last night on our call was talking about the best time that she's ever had in her business was when she aligned with what was natural to her. When she stopped pushing herself to be like other people and just decided, I'm going to be who I am. And sometimes that means that you go at a slower pace. Sometimes that means that you don't get it right. Sometimes that means you're not always showing up the way everyone else is showing up. Well, let me tell you something. You're not called to be anyone than who you are. You are not called to look like Susie down the road. I've said this many times. When I was with my previous company, there was another woman who did exactly what I did. Had an online boutique, was coaching at the same time, had babies. Like, our babies are literally like months apart. It was kind of crazy. But she flourished because she wasn't looking at other people to validate what she was doing. Here I was like, tell me I'm good, tell me I'm good, tell me I'm doing a good job. She knew she was doing a good job. She knew she had the tools and the skills to lead other people. And if she didn't, she trusted God enough to provide exactly what she needed. Now, she is the top income earner at that company. She also has a 6, almost 7-figure boutique business because God provided her vision differently. And instead of looking at what other people were doing, she put her blinders on and she just served and she just showed up and she just invited people along the way. She just continued to provide value. There are highs and lows of every single person's life. What you see on social media is a highlight reel. Literally, there is a place for highlights. You can literally highlight the best things. I may talk about the wealth opportunity. I may talk about my story. I may talk about those things. Behind the scenes, I'm sitting over there at a messy desk. My laptop's over here, making it work. Scribbling on paper, hanging pictures to remind myself, hanging quotes to remind myself, listening to things that are going to empower me, remembering that my husband's outside right now working in negative 15-degree weather, and reminding myself that that's why I show up, and that's why I'm willing to do things that I've never done before, because I'm tired of this, because I'm tired of being in this place, because I'm tired of letting what other people may say about me, whether I have a real job or not, whether I make real money or not, to validate that I am called here. I have been called to network marketing. I have been called to the online space. And if I keep looking to other people to validate that instead of saying, okay, God, you put me here. Let me run. Let me be faithful to what you've called me to. Let me be faithful to the vision that you've put in me, regardless whether people see it or not. Because vision is not seen with your eyes open. Vision is what you see when you close your eyes. Vision is how you show up in your mind. And then you follow that through with outward action. Okay, 4. The issues that you are facing right now are tools to being used and to being developed. So the frustrations that you're facing right now, how you're walking through that is the guide for someone else that's following behind you. The tools to unlock someone else's future. How you got where you're at right now is because someone was willing to be a guide to you. We do this all the time. We share things that impact our life. That's a key to unlocking someone else's future. The things I talk about in motherhood, I see you. I see how hard it is. I see how frustrated you can be sometimes when your spouse is working long hours, when you are up all night with the babies and then you still have to get up with your other kids. I see you because I am you. And I understand it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are beautiful moments in motherhood, but a lot of it is grit work. A lot of it is, what do I want most versus what I want right now? I want to raise well-rounded young women who love Jesus more than they love this world, who are willing to walk without approval of anyone else to what God has called them to. And it's messy and it's hard, and you meet some really amazing people along the way. That's the long-term vision. Right now, at 6, 3, and 1, it's just like remembering that it's not just about getting through the day. It's about impacting my babies. It's about being the kind of woman I want them to become and leading a life that I want them to live, and showing them that anything is possible. That God's vision is so much more than what you can get from a paycheck. Paychecks are nice. We all gotta pay bills. But it's not just about the paycheck. It's about the impact. Who are you impacting through sharing your story? Who are you not impacting because you won't open your mouth or type on the keyboard because you're afraid of what someone else is gonna say? People are stupid. They say mean things all the time. We are in a digital era where people will literally say anything that sounds good at the moment, but get in front of them and they would never say that to you. And if they do, then that's who they are. I would rather meet those people than the internet trolls who, like to say something that sounds witty, and then if you ever confronted them, they would never say it. So be that person. Say what you mean. Be who you are. Stop worrying about what other people are going to say about you. I know that's paralyzing fear. I know it is. I know it's paralyzing. Because for a long time, I kept quiet. I mean, I shared with you this morning on my post the things that I've achieved in the last 7 years. Did you know that? Did you know any of those things? Because until someone challenged me to sit down and write out the things that I have accomplished. I was on a call. Her name is Cynthia Maloney. She is a wonderful person. I will tag her in this video. But we were on a call the other day and she was talking about, she's come up in my team, not even someone that I personally enrolled, and she has just absolutely flourished. She has done all the things. She said, Katie, I believe in divine timing. I believe in being divinely led. And I'm like, I can see it. And I was telling her, I made $37,000 with what I'm doing. And I just, and someone had asked me, well, do you feel like that's a lot of money? And then I started to feel bad about it. And I was like, I don't know, I guess it's not that much money. She's like, but think about all of the other hats you wear all day long. Think about the fact that you're up all night with a baby, that you've traveled across country and moved several times, that you've been pregnant and postpartum through most of your business, that you have had hills and valleys, you've lost people, you've lost team leaders, you've lost other things. She said, but think about, you're a wife, a mama, a cook, a laundress, an errand runner, a personal assistant, you're a banker, you are a budgeting expert. Like, think about all the things that you do outside of just what your job title is. I can tell you, if I charged for all the things I do all day long, I would be super rich. But I am rich because this is the season I'm called to, and I'm so blessed by what I get to do. But I'm learning how to be smarter with my time. I'm learning how to add more value to the people that I have the opportunity to serve. I'm going quickly from the products to the opportunity to show them how to create wealth, how to create income that duplicates over time, that will bless your families for generations to come, because that's what's important to me. I love products, don't get me wrong. I love products. I love the products that we use, talk about them all the time, loving the collagen. I don't know if you can tell. I feel glowy. I also have like a bright window in front of me, but it's not just about the products. Products are a gateway to something that's more, that can just like absolutely radically change people's lives. That's what I'm here to do. Radically change people's lives. We start with health. We build on health, because if you don't have health, you have nothing. And then you grow to other opportunities, whether that be a financial opportunity that I show you how to build, whether it's strategic building of your own business, which I also am very good at, or whether it is balancing your priorities, figuring out what needs to go in this season of life. Also really good at that. Okay, grow through what you go through. It's a process. Nobody likes the process. The wait is never wasted though. You will become the answer to someone else's problem if you are faithful to the wait. if you are faithful and diligent and saying, okay, I'm here, what can I do in this time? I have had the most incredible last decade of learning and evolving, learning from my children, holy smokes, learning from my husband. I told him this at the end of the year. I said, you are my most valuable gift this last year because you have an intuition that a lot of people don't have. You see people for who they are, not who they portray themselves to be. He is very good at that. And I am the kind of person that wants to give everyone the benefit of a doubt. He's like, don't waste your time there. You're wasting your time there. They're not showing up. You're wasting time here. And I always want to be the person that sees the best in everyone else. And he does too. But he also sees through what they're telling me into who they are. And that was a huge gift to me last year. And I told him, I said, I'm so thankful for you. I'm thankful for your insight and your wisdom. And I'm going to do my best to listen more to you instead of constantly fighting the advice that you give. That right there was a gift. That was a gift to our marriage. That was our gift to our relationship. It was a hard year work-wise, but it was a gift to our marriage. I was in the wait for something better, something different. But I had to grow through what I went through, what I go through. So I want you to think about those things today. I will type them up in a caption and I'll put them in the comments. But how are you showing up this year? Is it how you thought it would be? Are you waiting for people to approve you? Are you afraid to be authentically who you are because of maybe things that went on last year that you were afraid to share who you are? Stop being afraid. Stop being afraid to shine your light. Stop being afraid that someone's not going to like you. People are not going to like you. People are going to unfollow you, unfriend you. They're going to be loud when they leave. That's okay. Those are not your people. You will find your people, and they will bless your life immensely, and you will bless their lives immensely. Everyone is not meant to walk through every season of life with you. Some people get to stay for a little while. Some people stay forever. But you have to continue to show up authentically as who you are. And remember that your pasture season is not a punishment. Your wait time is not a waste of time. It's just time when you grow and you develop and then you flourish. And that is my word for 2021 is flourish. I will be launching my Flourish Academy at the end of February, where I will be guiding you through different strategic steps. I will be launching my podcast in March. We have also launched a new community for women online who are looking to grow their business, their podcast, their boutiques, whatever it is. Maybe you're a solo entrepreneur, maybe you're network marketing, maybe you are just trying to figure out what the heck you're supposed to do. It's called She Grows Virtual, and the group is already live. The podcast launches in March, and I'm very excited for what's ahead to just step fully into coaching and leading and teaching the way that I know that I'm supposed to. So I'm excited. I hope you guys have the most amazing and blessed Tuesday. If this touched your life, if you made it all the way through to the end and it impacted you, I would love for you to tag or share it with someone who needs it. Bye, y'all.